Gotta get the center of the centers lined up of this and that bolt hole, and then put maybe a piece of wood, like a 2x, and another 2x. Kind of keep it, maybe check if that's level. I don't know. Never done this before. So if you ever find yourself faced with a car that's not really worth saving and you can't really get too much money to scrap it, and a lot of times you'll be in a position where maybe you do need a trailer to do, something. And you probably know trailers are not cheap to come by. I mean, sometimes you can get a good deal. Sometimes you can find them for free. Sometimes, they're very expensive. And so if you can scrounge together the parts you need to make one, you can really help yourself out. Pretty much everything I got for this was like sourced either on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, a couple of yard sale items. As far as like nuts and bolts and everything go, I just used whatever I had lying around at the time. And so that's really the best way to make it happen. And if you already have a half of a car, you've already got suspension, wheels, you could even hook up brakes if you're very handy. You could figure out how to center up that beam that totes the trailer there. And what's that thing called? I had to look that thing up. It's got a specific name, a trailer tongue. I was looking up tongues for months, and I even went up to New Hampshire to get a tongue, and it was huge, and I couldn't fit it on top of the Honda Accord I was driving, and I didn't want to destroy the Honda Accord anyways. This one popped up for $75, and it was perfect for what I needed. It already had a lot of holes drilled, but obviously none of them were in the spaces I need. So when I was inside the trailer here, a part that I didn't show was I used a 1/4-inch plate of steel. I had a big plate of steel. It was probably like 8 inches by 10 inches, and I ended up drilling holes in that and sandwiching it between the part I'm drilling through right now and the tongue. So because when the tongue was bolted, just the tongue was bolted to this piece of metal in here, it was a little flimsy. It felt flimsy. You could feel the thin metal bending and such. So after I sandwiched it in between a thick piece of metal and tightened it up, it made it a lot more rigid. It made it feel a lot more solid. It felt way better. And a lot of the hard part is drilling all the holes in that galvanized. When I'm laying underneath there in the rain and everything, that thing is shooting off like hot shards of metal, and that doesn't feel good. It's not fun. Anyways, once you get that thing drilled out, it makes it a lot easier to bolt everything up, so you don't have to have a 2,000 long wrench in there to get to the... Anyways, I was gonna notch out a thing on the side, but I didn't want to structurally integralize whatever that beam has, so I think those holes that I did will be all right. And they're in the right spot. They're underneath, and hopefully if water gets in there, they can drain out those holes. And it's galvanized anyways. But yeah, this trailer project, if you didn't see the video of me cutting the car in half, that's on my channel. Maybe I can figure out how to do a link to that. Also, the video of me taking the motor out of the front of the car, that's on here. And look at me go, dude. Once I had this all set and bolted up, then I picked it up and I realized it was too flimsy, and I needed to go back and add that thick piece of metal on the top, which I did film it, I think, but it's like, do you really want to see me drill another couple of holes? I sped up every bit of video for this because it would have been like an hour long if I didn't. And I cut a bunch of scenes out of me just like having fun, you know, just look at me just tightening and untightening. Everything is just, what a lovely project. You get yourself one of these, you got a Brat, don't cut it up, just save it, obviously, but a lot of them aren't savable, so you got to do what you got to do. Now, what I did with this trailer was I ended up putting the motor in it, putting my spare transmission in it, putting all my spare Brat parts in it, and I basically just use it I use it as a transport of Brat parts. I got fenders, everything, so I can fix up my Brat at my leisure. Anyways, you guys enjoy.
Thing is so close. Holes don't line up. Get that hole to line up, that bottom hole. They didn't even drill that sucker. Maybe I should do that bottom hole and then find a hole, figure out where that hole is, and do another hole. Fucking holes, bro. Shit's put together with holes. It already needs like some kind of support. It's a damn trailer. Almost proud of it. Not quite proud of it. Almost though.
Two bolts and some chains. This is what remains.